What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Deeks channel tonight. The Canadiens pick up right where they left off on Monday night, as they've had a few days off here, and the Canadiens win back-to-back games in overtime. Captain El Capitan clutch Nick Suzuki with another overtime winner, second game in a row with an overtime winner. This season alone, Nick Suzuki has 4 overtime winning goals, 5 overtime winning goals in his NHL career. He's already got 4 this season. And how about that play? Let's just start. Let's get right into it. Right into the overtime where Nick Suzuki and Cole Caufield come in on a 2-on-1, but let's give credit to Lane Hutson. My gosh, you know what? We love him for the offense. We love him. He's going to be most known in his career for the offense that he brings, and he does tally an assist on the winning goal. But it's the defensive play first that he makes in order to create the 2-on-1 the other way for Caufield and Suzuki. You saw the block shot, and it was actually Nick that won the puck back for the Canadiens, and then when a chance came back the other way for Washington, who did win the faceoff to start the overtime, and Hudson with the block shot, and that's when the chance to create the winning goal went the other way. And Nick Suzuki, after the puck went off Carlson, the defender, and then he still found a way to get the puck back to himself and roof it. The Canadiens weren't even certain that the puck went in because Caufield didn't see it go in as he tried to shoot it again and it went off the bar, but the referee had already signaled good goal. So that's my guy, Nick Suzuki. Some of you know how my career started in pursuing this whole thing. I'm going to try to get a clear shot. We're kind of blurry there, but that's me and Nick. As some of you guys know, I've told you a billion times that I interviewed Nick Suzuki when he got traded to the Canadiens for Max Pacioretty and Thomas Tatar. But man, our captain has been playing well, and there are some statistics that have actually been released about Nick Suzuki and where he's at in Canadiens history right now in terms of scoring, and I'm going to show those to you. And I got to give a shout out to Canadiens Muse, who has been drawing a lot of interest on Twitter for putting out some really cool, interesting tweets. Canadian statistics for you. Nick Suzuki just passed Mark Recchi on the goal list for most goals in Canadiens history. Nick passed Mark, who was in 48th with 120 goals, and now Nick passed him. He's in 47th now with 121. Next is Newsy Lalonde, who has 125, which Nick, of course, is going to pass him this season. But the reason I mentioned that too, also because my first favorite Canadiens player was Mark Recchi from the 90s. That tells you how old I am for some of you that are a little bit younger. And some of you who favorite players are much older, well, I mean, you're a little older. That's okay too. But Nick Suzuki, points after 41 games. This is good. This is a really good stat here because this shows Suzuki's progression in terms of point production per season. So you see in the year 2019, 2020, in his first season in the NHL, after 41 games. This is the statistics after 41 games for each season. I'll just jump it up on the screen here. And in 1920, Nick Suzuki had 23 points in 41 games. In 2020, 2021, he had 27. He went down to 24 and 22, 21, 22, 34 and 22, 23, 34 again in 23, 24. And now this season in 24, 25, Nick Suzuki has 42 points in 41 games, which means he's averaging more than a point per game at this stage after 41 games. So that's a lot of Nick Suzuki talk, but this guy has been absolutely determined after getting snubbed from the Team Canada roster for the Four Nations Cup that is upcoming. And him and his buddy Cole Caufield have both been playing fantastic since they both got cut from those teams, or not even they were considered, I'm sure, but they didn't make it. And they've been on an absolute tear. Cole Caufield, 5 goals in 5 games. He gets his team leading 23rd of the season. He's been hot. He's been fun to watch. I mean, just amazing. They've been absolutely amazing. Jacob Chychrun actually opened the scoring in this game with his 12th goal of the season. Defenseman Jacob Chychrun has been chipping in a lot of offense for the Washington Capitals. 12 goals so far this season on the power play just a few minutes into this game. And then into the second period, Cole with a beautiful pass. How about Juraj Slafkovsky's playmaking ability? How about his passing? I think Slafkovsky and Lane Hutson are probably the 2 best passers on the team. Like, am I crazy here? Is it Lane Hudson and Nick Suzuki too? I think Lane Hudson, Cole Caufield, Nick Suzuki, and Uri Slafkovsky to me are the best passers on the team. That's just what I'm going to say. And I think that it's undermined how many times Slafkovsky tries. He makes great passes. He has great vision. He's able to make good stretch passes, but he's also able to make the right pass at the right time. And he makes a great pass again to Cole Caufield, who is by himself again in front of the net. Caden Gooley got the puck and got it to Slav, and then Slav just had that eye for Cole, as he has been lately a lot. And then Josh Anderson. Josh Anderson scored out a breakaway. How many times have we been able to say that in the last year and a half or so, right? He gets a short-handed breakaway, a play where he won the puck. He stripped it from the former Toronto Maple Leafs blue lineman. Why am I drawing a blank on his name right now? Rasmus Sandin. I knew it would come to me. But Josh won the puck, and Josh got his 7th goal, a nice backhand goal. Good for him. Good for Josh. Lars Eller, former Montreal Canadian, always seems to play well against us. He gets his 4th goal of the season. I think Sportsnet has it wrong, actually, because RDS had that it was Lars Eller's 8th goal of the season in the 3rd period, where the Washington Capitals tied it. And then in overtime, I mentioned Nick Suzuki because he's absolutely amazing. And how about Jakub Dobeš? He is undefeated as a Montreal Canadiens goaltender. He goes 3-0 to start his NHL career. Didn't face a lot of shots in this game. Montreal was heavily outshooting Washington, and frankly, the deserve to win meter, if you want to use that, because it's a thing nowadays, it was really in the Canadiens' favor. They were outplaying Washington. The Canadiens were generating a lot of chances. I remember Emil Heineman had a good chance. Kirby Dach had some chances. Cole, Nick, and Slav, they all had chances as well. I think just about every line had decent chances to score, and just generating offense, they were doing it. They were doing it a lot more than Washington. We barely saw Alex Ovechkin touch the puck. We're all cheering for him to break Gretzky's record, right? We are. The whole hockey world is cheering for Alex at this point. But the only time I saw him look dangerous was on one power play, and Ovechkin only registered 1 shot on goal in this game. We also saw that Charlie Lindgren got injured in this game after a collision where Nick Suzuki was actually pushed into Lindgren, and then his head got twisted, and then Logan Thompson had to come in and finish the game. And that's where things ended up. But the Canadiens outshot the Capitals 30-17 in this contest. And again, the Canadiens are registering a lot more shots, a lot more offense. They're playing the right way. They're defensively responsible. Arbor Jacki playing good hockey quietly. Once again, Lane Hudson being relied upon night after night. Alexander Carrier, so steadily reliable. Jaden Struble played in this game, but he only played about 5 minutes, which is surprising. Pez only played about 3, but Jaden Struble did not play a lot of minutes in this game, so that was interesting to notice from the Canadian side of things. But in general, they're playing very, very well in front of Jakub Dobeš and Sam Montembeault. And Armia, I saw Knuckles Kriston is very happy with the play of Yoel Armia lately, by the way, and he should be, because Armia is in a contract year, and I get that. I get the motivation, but in terms of just being part of this team and chipping in, he is a powerhouse down low, carrying the puck on the walls, creating chances on his own. He is generating offense on his own. He's so hard to get the puck off of. He's got that, Knuckles Nyland calls it stick handling in a phone booth. We haven't heard that since the Alex Kovalev days, but that's what Armia is doing. It's pretty amazing to watch. So the Canadiens are right back at it tomorrow night in Dallas at home. We saw the reception the Canadiens got in their first home game back from that very successful road trip, and we saw that the Canadiens started off hot. Caden Gooley with that big hit, Cole Caufield with the opening goal. So I expect a very, very good atmosphere. The first Saturday night game at the Bell Center in a while, right? It's been a while since the Canadiens have had that, and they're going to get a ton of support. It's the Canadiens winning 9 of their last 11 games, guys. It was 8 of 10, now it's 9 of 11. And it's absolutely amazing to see what they're doing right now. So leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this game. I was a little apprehensive. Again, these Canadiens just seem to keep surprising us, and it's amazing they're also still doing it without Patrick Laine and David Savard. We don't know if Patrick Laine is going to be back in the lineup and available to the Canadiens tomorrow. We'll find out, but I'm just glad they're winning in his absence, because it can't hurt his contract extension talks eventually when we win without him. It's awesome. It's awesome. This team is really rewarding us. And I want to mention also that the Canadiens are 3 points out of third place in their in the Atlantic Division right now. They have 2 games in hand on Pittsburgh, who is 1 or 2 points ahead of them in the standings for the wild card. I'll pull it up for you right now. And in the wild card race right now, the Canadiens have 43 points. Pittsburgh has 44, and actually so does Columbus. So technically, the Canadiens are only 1 point out of the wild card spot. 2 games in hand on Pittsburgh, and Columbus has one more game played than Montreal right now. So Montreal's got actually a game in hand on both those teams that are ahead of them. So they had 3 days off. That's expected, right? But regardless, let me know what you think, guys. Also, shout out one more time. This is the first time I'm saying it, but shout out to the Laval Rocket, who got a 5-0 shutout tonight. Caden Primo getting the shutout for the Rocket. Good for Caden. Only had to make 16 saves, but regardless, happy for him. He's been doing well with Laval since being sent down, so good for him. And good for the Canadiens. That's only good for them when the Rocket do well too. So hats off to them. Leave a comment down below, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe, join the channel, join the fun right here on Drew Deeks. Love you guys. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Go Habs, go.